Hello lads and welcome to the latest episode of the OP Alphabet, and today you are very lucky because you're not getting one M, you're getting M and M. Two M's today in the OP Alphabet. We've got Martins and Moose up front, but before we get into it we need to observe the traditions as we always do. So we got A for Aubameyang, B for Braithwaite, C for Shaqiri, D for Doumbia, E for Emenike, F for Fur, G for Giovinco, H for Hernandez, I for Ibarbo, J for Jimenez, K for Kone, L for Lacazette, and today we've got M, which is going to stand for Musa and Martins. Now, I thought I'd try and make it a bit different to get the two players in there. This is the team that I went with. You can see that they look quite nice together because they're both Nigerian. However, I am going to say that I didn't think they played that well together. They often seem to get in each other's way, but we'll talk about that more when we get to this. So this is the team that I went with. We've got a pretty Brazilian themed team, to be honest, as you can see just from the back and the back line and the goalkeeper. We've got Julio Cesar in goal. Eustace, I thought, I've not used him before. He's usually quite good on FIFA, but I really didn't recommend him at all. I wouldn't recommend him at all, sorry. He had a couple of really bad moments where, like, you know when the keeper comes out and he sort of just stands there and the player's running around and just taps in. He had two or three of them, which was a little bit frustrating, but on the whole, he's still an 82, so he should be good, and his stats aren't bad at all. Very well rounded on the whole, but for me, didn't enjoy using him, and I'm sure you could do better with someone like Diego Alves or someone along those lines. And going into the defence, we'll start from right to left. Marco Di Noa, like I've used him plenty of times, good all-round right back. Marcelo, as I've often said, my favourite left back on the game. He's nearly played 100 games for me now, 94 games he's played, absolutely crazy. Thiago Silva, very similar, 44 games he's played, one of the better centre-backs in the game, as you'd expect with those stats, 78 pace, 90 defending, and 80 physical. Is absolutely nuts. Next centre-back is someone I've not used before, Leandro Castan. Statistically, he's very well-rounded again. His shooting's awful, and he's not well-rounded, that's a lie. He's good at what you'd want him to be good at. He's not slow, 71 pace, and with 84 defending and 81 physical, that's not too bad, but he's very average, as you'd expect really. He's an 81, so you might expect him to be a little bit okay, but he was average. I mean, you could have put anyone in there and he did it just as well, to be honest. Moving into the centre defensive midfielders in the team. Now, what I've actually started doing now, as I've started doing, you can obviously now do the instructions, and I had these on stay back while attacking. And you did notice it, and it did help a lot actually. Gustavo does it quite well anyway, because he's got the medium high work rates. There's another player that I really like this year. Played 28 games for him, and he's a really good player. In the middle of the park, you can do pretty much anything you want him to. Shooting is obviously his weak link, but you're looking for someone to get the ball and pass it on, just breaking the play. There's not many better than him this year, in my opinion. Jermaine Jones is quite similar. He's a bit more well-rounded. 80 pace is phenomenal at CDM, really, but he has got the high work rates, which is why I've put on the instruction for him to stay back, so I didn't want him to be bombing forward too much. Got 80 pace, 77 defending and 84 physical, all superb stats for a CDM, especially for someone that's only rated 77. That's pretty insane really. 650 coins, he's a really good buy actually. In fact, look at that, 5 assists in 11 games as well, that's really good. Coming into the cams now, we'll start off with Kaka. I played 6 games with him, he scored 2 goals and got 1 assist. I really enjoyed using him actually. It's the second time I've used him, I think. In fact, it can't be, he's only played 6 games, I must have played just 1 game with him before. 74 pace, which is still decent, especially at his age. I thought he'd be a bit slower than that, to be honest, but decent pace. Dribbling's 80, which I think needs to be a bit higher in my opinion. He's better dribbling than that. 76 shooting, 82 passing, all really good stats. His physical's a bit low at 60, but he doesn't seem to get pushed off the ball too easily. And the one thing I will say about him is his free kick stats, like his power, curve, accuracy, all that stuff, doesn't seem that high in the game, but his free kicks always seem to do really well. I didn't actually score one with him, but I had 2 or 3 that were really good saves or just wide off the post or whatever, so it's quite deceiving to us. I find it quite strange, like all his free kick stats are sort of low 70s, high 60s I think, which I think is a bit low anyway, but they didn't seem it, they seemed pretty good. So moving on to the next cam, which is Vitinho, and I actually paid 19,500 coins for him, and at the time that was a little bit cheap. I only bought him recently, and the average price was about 24k. The reason he's so expensive is that he's got the 4-star we put on the 5-star skill modes, but I really did not get along with him whatsoever. You can see he played 5 games and got 1 assist. His stats on his card: 81 pace, 78 dribbling, 73 shooting, 63 passing, 53 physical and 29 defending. If you look at that, you think his shooting's going to be pretty quality. 73 shots pretty decent, especially for a silver. Pace isn't the best at 81, but for a cam that's still okay, and dribbling at 78 with the 5-star skill moves, I thought, looks like a good little player, so I thought I'd splash out on him. But I can tell you now, lads, I'm going to be selling him straight after I've done this video, because I could not get along with him at all. I'd do much better having someone like Hernandez or someone there, in my opinion. 5 games, like I say, got the 1 assist. He's so expensive because he's a silver, and he just seems to get pushed at the ball so easily. His passing's not the best, as you can see with 63. His passing's awful, to be honest. It's the kind of thing where he's got the 4-star skill move, so you think, I might be able to get away with doing a couple of nice little runs, but he just seems to get shoved off the ball every single time, and I really didn't like him at all. Medium-high work rate's a bit strange for a cam as well, it has to be said, but even so, didn't get along with him at all. I'm sure there's people out there that love this guy because it looks like a good card, but in this team at least, he was absolutely awful. But we're going to move on to the 2 strikers, the 2 man men, obviously Martins and Musa. Used them both before, so they've played a couple more games, as you'll see. We'll start with Musa. 10 games, 8 goals and 4 assists, which is pretty good, to be fair. I can't remember what team I used to do before. I think it was an M&EK one, I believe, if my memory serves me to be correct. But you look at his stats of this card, it was 75, they're absolutely unreal. 93 pace, incredible. 81 dribbling's good, 71 shots good. And it's weird because Musa's shot 74, his shot there only 73, so it's only 1 less for Vitinho, and it's so much worse, it's crazy. 49 physical, but that's a lie because he just seems to bundle through so easily, in my opinion. High medium work rates, which is ideal, and then he's got the 4-star skills, which is fantastic with the 3-star width. But him and Martins, like I said, we'll look at Martins' stats in a minute. The 2 very good players, they're both very OP, very good strikers, but playing together, they always seem too close together to me, and it was like, you want to play the 1-2, because they're both quick obviously, you want to be getting the 1-2 on the go and chipping it over the top, and they were just too close to get anything to work. I still did okay with the team, I didn't win the cup unfortunately, but yeah, I'd recommend doing them in separate teams perhaps, because I've had Martins in another team and I did another OP alphabet, because I remember doing well with Dempsey. God, who would have that been now, I can't remember, but he did really well in that team, did well, and same for Musa when he was in the M&EK team, he did a lot better, so they are very strong players, but I wouldn't recommend playing them together necessarily. Femi Martins' record slightly better on the goal front, but slightly worse on the assist front. 10 games, 10 goals and 3 assists. Again, look at that pace, 93 is unreal. Dribbling at 76 is good again, 74 shot again. And his physical slightly higher, and again he does seem to hold off the tackles really well, and he's 76 overall, so they're both only like 75, 76, but that feels so much better. And look at this, 750 coins Martins is. Musa I got in a pack, but you can get less, but they're less than like 1,000, I'm pretty sure. But both 2 insane strikers, all it is with them really. If you can get that chip ball over the top, they're so quick and they seem so clinical, and you'll see that with some of the goals at the end of the episode. But overall, I wouldn't recommend this team, to be honest. Julio Cesar was poor, Castan was average, Vitinho was poor. The 2 strikers didn't link up too well together, but individually they're fantastic. But like I said, I just wouldn't recommend trying out this team. Maybe you want to have a go, see if you can do any better, because if you take out Vitinho and replace him with someone else, actually I was going to say it's a pretty cheap team, but you got Thiago Silva and Marcelo in there as well, haven't you? So it's not that of a cheap team, to be honest. A little bit disappointed, not going to lie, but still, the 2 main men still did well in it, and that's all that matters, I suppose, for the sake of the series. But like I say, stay away from this one in my opinion. Vitinho, really expensive, didn't cut the mustard whatsoever for me. You'll have to let me know if you've used him before and got on any better, but that's going to bring us to the end of this episode now. We're going to roll the goals, and I'll speak to you in tomorrow's video, which is going to be a career mode, because we are now, of course, in the full flow of the new schedule. So I'll speak to you then, lads. Nidge out. What's going on, lads? Happy New Year.